CanYaman and Demet the hopeful. Rebirth of broken hearts. Have you ever wondered what happens when the dazzling lights of fame dim and reveal the loneliness lurking in the shadows? Can love survive the relentless pursuit of success, or does it become another casualty in the race for stardom? These are the haunting questions that CanYaman must face as he stands at the crossroads of his life, where every choice could either lead him back to true happiness or plunge him further into despair. The story of K and Demet is one of love and loss, of mistakes made and forgiveness granted, but above all it is a tale of hope that love can be reborn even from the ashes of a broken heart. The meteor rise and the heavy price of fame. CanYaman's journey to fame has been nothing short of a fairy tale, with every television series, every endorsement deal, and every public appearance he has captured the hearts of millions, not just in Turkey but across the globe. His name became synonymous with charisma, talent, and an irresistible charm that made him a favorite among fans, particularly in Europe, where his popularity soared to new heights. Yet as his star rose higher, the pressures of fame began to take their toll. The relentless schedule, the constant scrutiny, and the endless demands of a public life left little room for the man behind the image. In the midst of this whirlwind, Can found himself losing touch with the things that truly mattered. The bright lights that once represented success began to cast long shadows over his personal life, isolating him from the very people who cared for him the most. As his professional life flourished, his personal life began to unravel. The late-night parties, the short-lived relationships, and the superficial connections that came with fame left him feeling more alone than ever. But amid the chaos there was one constant, a love that had the power to bring him back to his true self. Demet, the woman behind the superstar Demet, has always been more than just a co-star or a love interest in CanYaman's life. She is the woman who saw beyond the fame and the facade, who loved him not for his celebrity status but for the person he was underneath. Their love story captivated millions, turning them into one of the most beloved couples in the entertainment industry. But as K's career took off, their relationship began to strain under the weight of his newfound fame. The very qualities that made him a star, his drive, his ambition, his relentless pursuit of success, became the very things that drove a wedge between them. Yet Demet never wavered in her love for K. She stood by him through the highs and the lows, always believing in the man she knew he could be, even when his actions hurt her, even when his pursuit of fame led him away from her. She held on to the hope that one day he would realize what truly mattered. Her love was patient, enduring, and forgiving, but even the strongest love has its limits. The cracks began to show as K's career continued to soar. The cracks in his relationship with Demet began to show. The constant travel, the long hours on set, and the ever-growing demands of his career left little time for the woman who had always been his anchor. The glamorous lifestyle that came with fame, the parties, the events, the endless parade of people wanting a piece of him, began to take precedence over the quiet moments they once shared. The connection that had once been so strong between them began to fray, worn thin by the pressures of a life lived in the public eye. K's increasing involvement in the nightlife, seeing his string of short-term relationships, and his apparent disregard for Demet's feelings only added to the strain. Each time he chose the allure of fame over their relationship, it was Demet who paid the price. Her heart, already fragile from the weight of his neglect, began to break under the strain, and yet she forgave him time and time again, hoping that he would one day realize the depth of her love and the value of what they shared. A love on the brink. As the distance between them grew, so did the sense of isolation that Can felt. The life he had built, one filled with fame, Fortune and aviation began to feel hollow, empty. Even the void that had been growing inside him was something that no amount of success could fill. He realized that the life he had been living was not the life he wanted. The short-lived romances, the late nights, the endless pursuit of the next big thing, none of it brought him the happiness he sought. And as he looked around at the life he had created, he realized that the only thing missing was the one person who had always been there for him, DT. But as much as Ken wanted to go back to the way things were, he knew that it would not be easy. DT had given him countless chances, had forgiven him more times than he deserved, and had stood by him when no one else would. But even her love had its limits, and Ken knew that he was running out of time to make things right. A crossroads of choices. CanYaman now finds himself at a crossroads, faced with a decision that will determine the course of his life. Will he continue down the path of self-destruction, allow fame and fortune to dictate his choices, or will he choose to prioritize the love that has been waiting for him all along? The answer to this question will not only shape his future but also determine whether the love he shares with DT will survive or become another casualty of his pursuit of stardom. The time has come for Ken to take a hard look at his life and decide what truly matters. Fame, fortune, and the fleeting pleasures of the nightlife are all temporary, but the love he shares with Demet is something that could last a lifetime if he is willing to fight for it. But to do so, he must be willing to change. He must let go of the superficial distractions that have been pulling him away from the things that truly matter and focus on rebuilding the relationship that has been the foundation of his happiness. The path to redemption. The path to redemption is never easy, but it is one that Ken must take if he is to win back the love of his life. He must prove to Demet that he is capable of change, that he is ready to put their relationship above all else, and that he values her more than the temporary highs of fame. But more than that, he must prove it to himself. Ken must show that he is willing to be the man that DT believes he can be, the man who puts love and connection above all else. For DT, this is the last chance she is willing to give her love. For K is as strong as ever, but her patience is wearing thin. She needs to see that Ken is willing to make the changes necessary to keep their love alive. If he can do that, if he can truly show that he has grown and is ready to prioritize their relationship over everything else, then perhaps they can find their way back to each other. But if Ken continues to make the same mistakes, if he continues to put fame and fortune above their relationship, then he risks losing the one person who has always been there for him. DT's heart is too delicate, too precious to be broken again. And this time, if Ken fails to make the right choices, he may lose her for good. The hopeful rebirth of broken hearts. If CanYaman can find it within himself to change, to let go of the false promises of fame and return to the woman who has always believed in him, then there is hope for a new beginning. The love between K and Demet has the potential to be reborn, stronger and more resilient than ever before. But it all depends on K's willingness to take that first step, to prove that he is ready to be the man Demet has always known he could be in. And this is more than just a story about two people, it's a story about the power of love to overcome even the greatest of challenges. It's about the importance of staying true to oneself and recognizing what truly matters in life. For CanYaman, this is the moment of truth. Will he rise to the occasion and reclaim the love that has been waiting for him, or will he let it slip away, lost forever to the demands of a life lived in the spotlight? The world is watching, waiting to see what CanYaman will do next. Will he choose the path of redemption, the path that leads back to Demet and the love they once shared, or will he continue down the road of self-destruction, allowing fame and fortune to dictate his life? The answer lies within him, and the choices he makes now will determine the future of his Relationship with DT for CanYaman. This is not just a moment of truth, it is a moment of reckoning. The decisions he makes now will shape the rest of his life, and the world is watching too. See if he will rise to the occasion. Will he prove that he is capable of change? That he values love and connection above all else, or will he allow fame and fortune to continue dictating his life, leading him down a path of self-destruction? In the end, the answer to these questions will determine whether Ken and Et's love story is one of redemption and hope, or whether it will become another cautionary tale of love lost to the pursuit of stardom. The world is watching, waiting to see what CanYaman will do next. Will he choose love, or will he choose fame? The choice is his, and the stakes have never been higher. This is the story of CanYaman and Ozdemir, the story of a love that has been tested time and time again, but still endures. It is a story of hope, of redemption, and of the possibility of a new beginning, but it all depends on the choices Ken makes now, and whether he is willing to fight for the love that has been waiting for him all along. The time has come for CanYaman to make a decision. Fame, short-term relationships, and night life, these are all temporary things. However, losing a woman like Demet can cause an irreparable wound in Ken's life. Ken risks losing the most precious person in his life because he is attracted by fame. Now he needs to return to DT and revive this love. However, in doing so, he must learn from his past mistakes and prove that he deserves the endless love that DT offers him. The world is watching, and the story of CanYaman and DT is far from over. Will it be a story of love lost to fame, or a tale of redemption and the hopeful rebirth of broken hearts? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: this is a love story that will be remembered for years to come.